Let's talk right now, though, with Fox 11 Los Angeles anchor and reporter. Anchor of The Issue is Alex Michelson. He joins us now. Alex, good to see you. Everyone's kind of talking about this interview with California Governor Gavin Newsom with Sean Hannity tonight. Some clips have already been out there. What are you looking forward to in this interview tonight?
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what Gavin Newsom shows up, or which Gavin Newsom shows up. Is it going to be the governor that is, trying to show that he's more moderate than people think, that he and Sean Hannity agree on more things than people think, and sort of an outreach to people that may be more conservative? Or is he trying to essentially score points and create an ad that he could use as a Twitter video to fundraise on? By going hard at conservatives on Sean Hannity's program. It's interesting. I know that, some of the more traditional, straight news reporters on Fox News Channel, including some of the anchors, have been, trying to do an interview with Gavin Newsom for years.
Yeah.
And hasn't done it. And the fact that he is choosing an opinion host, one of the most conservative opinion host, who clearly has a lot of ties over the years to Donald Trump, is an interesting choice for Gavin Newsom in terms of who he is sitting down.
Yeah. Alex, I was reminded of an interview Newsom did a couple months back with Jen Psaki, now at MSNBC, former White House press secretary, where he admitted that he watches Fox News religiously, so much so that his aides have to get him to stop.
Yeah, he in that interview said that he's obsessed, and that's something that he's talked about a lot over the years, that he watches Fox. He's told me that it's sort of his way of studying what other people are saying or what the other side is talking about. But he seems to watch more Fox than he does MSNBC or CNN. He's really interested in that sort of thing. So it's now tonight. He's going to get to watch himself, as we're now watching this clip right now that shows it. And of course, when we talk about Fox, we're talking about the national version of Fox News Channel. He's done more interviews with me than I think anybody else in the state. He's done more interviews with Fox 11 than any other outlet. So, there is a bit of a difference there.
Sure. Alex, like you said, you talk to him so frequently, and you ask him when you get to speak with him about if at all he has any 2024 presidential aspirations. Sean Hannity also asked him about that. Let's just play this soundbite and get you to respond on the back end.
Okay.
Do you think he's cognitively strong enough to be president?
I have conversations with him all the time, yes. And I'll tell you what.
You do?
I'm dead serious about that. I've talked to him when he's been overseas. I've been in Air Force One, Marine One. I've been in the limo with him. I've spent time with him privately.
Okay, but you never answered my question directly. How many times does your phone ping a day, people saying you need to get in this race because they agree with me that he's not up to the job?
I see where you're going. I see where you're going with that, John.
I'm asking.
No, and I'm not answering.
Yeah.
So not answering at all.
The not answer sort of is an answer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, of course, that there are people that do that. It's interesting. The last time I talked with the governor a few weeks ago, I asked him a sort of similar question about how often are people pitching themselves to be Senator Dianne Feinstein's replacement, even though Senator Feinstein is in the Senate. And he did answer that question, saying that he was basically having people throw themselves at him every single day, everywhere he goes. So if that was the case for that, one would assume that some of that also probably happens on the presidential question, which is something that people talk about around him all the time. And it's something that he is asked about in virtually every single interview he does. One thing he's said over and over again, which is that he not only doesn't have interest in running against Joe Biden in 2024, that he has no interest in running ever. And that is something that most of us in the California press corps have a hard time believing based off of his actions, which include running ads in other states that aren't California, launching this 28th Amendment to the Constitution on gun control, attacking Ron DeSantis more than he attacks anybody in terms of California Republican government. So why do you do all that if you're not interested in running for president? Why not just say you may run for president one day, which is something that I've asked him. And his answer was, if I said that, basically, that's all anybody would talk about, and people don't want to hear that. People want to see that you're focused on your job, which wasn't really saying no. It certainly appears, based off of his actions, that he's putting himself in place to potentially run for president one day, but he's not willing to say that.
Yeah, and when you talk of nationwide aspirations, there's not much more you can get nationwide by proposing an amendment to the Constitution like he did last week. He's proposing this 28th Amendment, to tackle some of the issues of gun violence we see nationwide, especially there in California. He's been governor for so long. He's had to respond and comfort the victims and survivors of so many of these mass shootings. What did you make of that announcement last week of the 28th Amendment?
So his point with that is that even though California has stronger gun safety regulations than any other state country, we still have plenty of mass shootings. I mean, in part because we have more people than anywhere else in the country, and we have a lot of close, But his point is that we can't solve this on our own, and because there are lax rules in other states, that impacts California. But to actually do what he's talking about here, and we're seeing that proposal laid out in this ad, is almost impossible. I mean, you need 33 states to agree to this, including many Republican states. So that's not really going to happen. So what this is sending a political message. It's a way to fundraise. It's a way to assert his values. It's a way, he would say, for people to be seen and heard. But it's not probably going to lead to any policy changes anytime soon. But what it does accomplish is it gets Gavin Newsom's name in the national conversation. He did that announcement on the Today Show. He didn't do it on some California show. And he's talking about it tonight on the Fox News channel.
Yeah. Alex, just lastly, too, one of the clips that's getting a lot of attention over the weekend, Hannity asked him about his relationship or lack thereof with the former president, Donald Trump, and he said they had a pretty good one while he was in office, Trump, that is. And so is he getting criticism for that? He said to Sean Hannity he's going to get a lot of flack for saying that.
Well, I realize that as you're saying that, I have behind me my picture of him and Newsom together when we were out there. And I literally asked him in that picture, I said, is this going to change your relationship with California? And he pulled Gavin Newsom in for like a bear hug and to show that how close their relationship is. Look, that's something that I observed up close. I've personally covered several different meetings between Trump and Newsom here in California. And Newsom always went out of his way to say complimentary things about Donald Trump, which led to Donald Trump not attacking Gavin Newsom, and frankly led to Donald Trump greenlighting millions and millions and millions of dollars in funding for California, especially on the issue of COVID. So they found a way to work with each other. It was clear that Donald Trump kind of liked Gavin Newsom. And even in this interview now, he kind of went out of his way not to say anything bad about him. So although he attacks Ron DeSantis every chance he can get, he doesn't attack Donald Trump nearly as much. And it's a really sort of bizarre relationship to see up close.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. I'm excited for it. Alex Michelson, as always, thanks for talking politics with us here on Live Now from Fox, and we'll talk again.
Andrew, always great to talk with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. All right, I hope you found that conversation informative there, because that's a big get, especially for the Fox News channel. Alex always speaks to the governor there, but it'll be interesting to see, what Newsom says to Sean Hannity about the issues facing California, about the issues facing the country writ large as well.